To the track now in heat number 1 of the men's 110-meter hurdles. The top 2 will automatically qualify for the final later in the morning session, and the top 2 overall best times will move on. Aries Merritt of the United States with the world record at 12:80. Dayron Robles of Cuba with the Pan Am record of 13:10. Cuban, of course, giving up his world record. And a look at the field in heat number 1. Canada's Sekou Kaba running in lane number 2. The Francophone Games champion, the best this year of 13:43. Down the middle of the track in lane 5, Yordan O'Farrell of Cuba. It's a great time coming into this competition. So let's set the lanes. Sekou Kaba of Canada, running out of Ottawa, was born in Guinea, the third of 7 children, moved to the US, then to Canada, where he's made his home in lane 2. In lane number 3, this is Dwight Thomas of Jamaica. He was Jamaica's #1 sprinter before the Usain Bolt era, Safa Powell era, and has now turned to hurdles. In lane number 4 from Brazil, Eder SOUZA, former South American junior champion, has a best this season of 13:36, very close to his personal best. He's in lane number 4. In lane 5 from Cuba, Yordan O'Farrell, former world champion, has the fastest time this year in this field, a 13:23 clocking. He was 5th at the Youth Olympic Games in 2010. He's still only 22. In lane number 6, representing Puerto Rico, Javier McFarlane, the younger brother of the Peruvian record holder Jorge McFarlane. It's a best of 13:80 this year. In lane number 7 from Barbados, Greggmar Swift, brand new World Student Games champion in July, just a couple of weeks ago in Korea, and moving on here to the Pan Am Games. Swift of Barbados in lane 7. Again, the top 2 in this heat will automatically qualify for the final, and then the next 2 fastest losers overall. Farrell getting himself prepared. Lane number 5, Dwight now moving to the high hurdles. Swift, the young Barbadian, in lane 7. Kaba of Canada out in lane number 2. The biggest challenge of his career in a multi-sport games. Heat 1, men's 110 high hurdles. O'Farrell of Cuba settles into the blocks as these hurdlers find their marks, and a hush falls over the stadium. They're away cleanly in heat 1 of the 110 high hurdles, and already the Cuban running very well in lane number 5. A challenge from Swift of Barbados outside in lane number 7 as they come down the track. It's a 2-man dash for first and second, and it looks like Swift may have caught O'Farrell at the line into a headwind of 0.4 meters per second, and it is indeed Greggmar Swift first, 13:40, 2/100ths ahead of O'Farrell of Cuba. And Sekou Kaba waiting to see where he falls in the mix, but Swift with a great dip at the line, and Kaba is third, so not among the 2 automatic qualifiers, but he may be among the next 2 fastest overall. We'll have to wait and see, as there are 3 heats. 13:57 clocking for the Canadian, and Swift of Barbados first at 13:40, very close to his personal best, 7/100ths off his personal best, Mike.
Well, good running by the Bajan athlete, very smooth over these 42-inch barriers. All these men have the same stride pattern in between the hurdles, same stride length. The only way you can run faster is your frequency, so you try and get down on the ground, get your legs moving. A good dip at the line by Greggmar Swift to have a 2/100th of a second lead over O'Farrell from Cuba. But again, that lead leg, snap it down on the ground, get it right down close to the hurdle, get your arms pumping, dip at the line, strong hurdling. Remember yesterday in the men's 110-meter hurdles for decathlon, Damian Warner running 13:44, so that gives you a perspective of his ability to run with these world-class men time-wise. So the Canadian as well, Sekou Kaba, dipping in at the line, 13:57, 1/100th of a second ahead of the great Dwight Thomas, a tremendous sprint hurdler. So Sekou Kaba will have to wait and see if he can get through on time.
That's a heads-up performance by Sekou Kaba to out-dip the great Dwight Thomas, going from the flats to the hurdles.
Again, here we get a nice head-on shot of these men, 42 inches. So these tall men at best would have a 36-inch inseam, so they have to jump over those hurdles, try and stay low, stay clean, get your frequency going in between those hurdles. Pretty clean across the board. Sometimes you see a train wreck with a number of these hurdles going down. There we can see the photo finish, the lines indicating the specific time they cross, and 1/100th of a second difference between Sekou Kaba and Dwight Thomas. Like we mentioned right there, about 3 or 4 centimeters, literally an inch for these men, separating these two men. Great sprint hurdling in this first of 3 semifinals.
Sekou, how did you feel out there during the heat?
I felt okay. I think I had a sluggish start, but managed to move up a bit. So hope we can clean it up, and well, I guess once we get in the final,
yeah,
hopefully we can clean it up, but there's definitely more in the tank.
Just a couple hours if you do make it through to the final. How do you prepare and get ready in what is a pretty short turnaround?
Same process. I mean, you warm up and you go. It's no rocket science, so feeling pretty good about it.
Sounds good. Hope you make it there.
Thank you very much.
We'll have more from the 110-meter hurdles, plus we'll get to women.